We have some more controversy in the Dragon Ball Super manga. Let's talk about it. And before I hop into this, let me just preface this. I waited as long as possible to talk about this. When the leaks came out like 3 weeks ago, I ignored it. I don't want to, like, you know, ruin your consumption of the manga by just dropping a video frame on about this, you know? Because, like, the thing is when you talk about that kind of stuff, you have to throw in the title, you have to throw in the thumbnail, you have to basically put it in front of your face that makes people be like, oh, snap, I gotta click this. In which case, sometimes, you know, it gets spoiled for people. I waited for the chapter to come out, and it's been like a week and a half at this point. I wait as long as we can wait. At this point, if you don't know what happened in the manga chapter that recently came out, you're probably just waiting for an anime to do this, in which case, I'm still sorry, man. I tried my best, okay? But I'll try to keep it as simple as possible in regards to how I do the title and thumbnail. It's going to be something in regards of Goku, well, not Goku, but Vegeta's new form, and that's probably how I'll focus on it. That way, it's as basically mysterious as possible. And if you still, for some reason, keep watching this video and it gets spoiled for you, well, then I guess that's on you. But I'm doing my best, man. I'm doing my best. Before I hop into this, as always, if you want to leave a thumbs up for these discussions, go for it. And at any point when I drop a question, this is the whole point of this video is to be like a discussion. So if I say, hey, what'd you think about this? You know what to do. Okay, let's talk about it. So last month, we seen Vegeta do this. The infamous finger point. When he does this, what happens? He gets folded. He gets folded like an omelet every single time. That's what happens. We've seen this over the duration of the past 30 years of Dragon Ball. He just gets his ass beat. He's always been the punchy bag for some reason, and I don't know why. And I never, ever really liked that. Between Goku and Vegeta, I've always been Team Vegeta. In which case, comment section below. Which one are you? Are you Team Goku, Team Vegeta? Let me know your thoughts down below. I've always been Team Vegeta just because I like this character a lot more than Goku, if that makes sense. But it's just a personal opinion. Doesn't really matter. I mean, who cares what I think? But I've always been a bigger fan of Vegeta than Goku. But every time he does this, he especially gets his ass beat. Now, him doing this last month was not basically confirmation, hey, he's going to get his ass beat. You know what was the confirmation that he was going to get his ass beat? Was the fact that we're still early in this arc. It's just way too early. I mean, the Moro arc lasts like, what, a year and a half? Something ridiculous. Granted, they are doing it on a monthly basis, and it takes a lot longer to release it. But we're still technically very, very early in this arc. Granola got his ability. He's the strongest fighter in the universe, and now he's fighting Goku and Vegeta while something else is happening in the background. Comment section below, let me know if you agree or disagree with this, but I'm pretty sure that Granola is not going to be the final villain in this arc. He's probably at some point going to get convinced that, oh, maybe Goku and Vegeta aren't the bad guy, and we should team up instead of fighting each other. We're probably going to see that, because let's be real. Granola being the most powerful person in the universe right now is the perfect, like, niche thing that we see with Goku all the time. Whenever Goku finds a new warrior that he wants to fight against. We saw that with Frieza coming back, Broly, Beerus, Whis. Like, anytime it's a powerful warrior, Goku, it's like that character is just there for Goku to get stronger. And I feel like at the end of this, Granola is probably going to be, either he's going to do something crazy like sacrifice himself just so you have that kind of aspect of the arc, or he's just going to hang out and just be that other character potentially exists in the universe that at some point can fight Goku. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. But I still think it's way too early in this arc for any form of defeat to happen. And on top of that, with how Dragon Ball, and this is the thing that always gets me, with how Dragon Ball does transformations, they've never been one of those things where transformation pops up and the other opponent has been immediately obliterated, with the exception of maybe, like, you could say Super Saiyan 2 Gohan when he fought against Cell. He transformed and basically just bodied him. But even then, they had to introduce something to nerf Gohan at that point, and that was when he basically lost his arm trying to protect Vegeta, and then he was down to basically doing that Kamehameha and then having to believe in himself to actually take out Cell. Like, there's always something that gets thrown out there that kind of nerfs that character. You know, what I've been noticing in DBS specifically is they'll introduce something powerful. Like, for example, when Goku got, you know, Ultra Instinct in the TOP arc, but it wasn't quite ready yet. I still stand by what I said last month. I don't think this form that we saw with Vegeta is basically the final version of the transformation. I think there's more to it, and it kind of makes sense with how they've been doing it. You know, again, what I like about Goku and Vegeta's forms right now is they're like two different like paths. You know, you got Goku who's got the path of the angel with Whis, and then you got the path of God Destruction with Vegeta. I like that. I think it's very, very dope, and both abilities to me are unique in how they work. I like that. Like, you know, with Vegeta being more like an offensive powerhouse where, like, his power is based on basically getting beat up, which kind of fits the character, you know? It's like the more he fights, the stronger he gets in that situation. It's like he's basically becoming destruction. He's becoming rage. He's becoming the thing that he's always been. And that to me is dope. And by the way, can we talk about the name for a second? I saw when they first revealed the name, there was a lot of memery happening about it. Ultra Ego, it does sound kind of wild. But something I want to point out is you have to look at the direct translation of what it actually meant in Japanese. And it's one of those things that doesn't necessarily translate very, very well. But them choosing Ultra Ego makes the most sense for the best way to describe it. It's like, he's accepting who he is. He's accepting, like, he's using his pride and his ego as a driving factor. And in all reality, he's making fun of Goku. Because Goku's like, oh yeah, Ultra Instinct. Well, it's not Goku's name, but the gods named it. Ultra Instinct. He's making fun of that. And then giving his own spin of it, his own twist. And Ultra Ego, to me, I like it. Comment section below, I want you guys to really, like, talk about this as well, because I want to see what you guys think about that. Again, I saw what happened on Twitter when it first came out. It wasn't like a complete thing where everybody hated it. It was more like actually kind of split. You know, I feel like the people that really hated it were a lot more louder than, you know, the ones that either didn't care or actually did like it. But in general, based on all the tweets and the messages I've been seeing and comments and stuff like that, it was kind of like in between where it's like, yeah, this is cool. I get it. I get it. But let's be real, Ultra Ego at first, it does sound kind of stupid, like Ultra Ego. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below on that. But yeah, I don't think it's done. I think Ultra Ego is going to have something else that pops up behind it. And also something I want to point out is Vegeta technically did not lose. You know, when the leaks happened, and this is something I hate, not just in the Dragon Ball community, but in anything in the leaks. When something leaks with zero context, we, as a community, always tend to jump the gun and be like, I knew it, this is the worst thing that could ever happen. But the thing is we don't know what happened off of just one panel. And what I'm talking about specifically is when we saw Vegeta was on the ground saying like what happened, basically showing that he got defeated by Granola after he get his new form. Technically he didn't get defeated. You know, he was doing pretty well. He is running out of steam, he's running out of juice, and then Granola activated his second shouting gun. Now he has 2 of them. And apparently that's gonna make him so much more stronger. So we don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, let's be real, we know what's gonna happen. It's Vegeta. Next chapter, I feel like Granola is probably going to beat the dog piss out of him and then really show off what happens when he has 2 of the shouting guns as opposed to having 1. And at that point, either we'll see that catalyst that Goku had where his form really comes out, or maybe Goku will pop in and they'll like escape and then figure out what to do next. But let's be real, there's a lot of trump cards they can still use against Granola. If they want to do the cop out and bring out, you know, Gogeta or potentially even Vegito, they can still do that. I hate that that's always the thing that always kind of hangs in the back of every single potential fight. But it's something that can also get tossed out. I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to both Goku and Vegeta versus Granola, it's going to be free. Right now they're doing a 1v1, and he's just barely keeping up with both of them. Well, with the exception of him having 2 of the eyes now, in which case we don't know how powerful he is. But the point is what we expected to happen technically hasn't happened yet. And I think next chapter, seeing what Granola does next is going to be like the thing that we expected to happen in this chapter. So yeah, I just kind of want to address the fact that we had that leak happen and we kind of jumped the gun and we didn't really know what's going to happen yet just based off of one thing. For all we know, he could have just tripped. And then the next chapter, not next chapter, but the next panel, he gets up and he's back to fighting again. Something to think about. Just something to think about in regards to future leaks with the DBS manga. But overall, the thing about me that I'm thinking about is first of all, I don't know if I really like this arc so far. The Moro arc, I was immediately invested because like, it explained the potential threat there, you know. It kind of gave you an idea what to expect with Moro, with what he was doing. And I know not everybody liked the Moro arc, but I actually liked it a lot. You know, I loved all the callbacks they had to the original series with Z, and I liked how the villain, he was a threat. He was an actual threat that was very, very different than what they had in the past, you know. Because again, we're to the point where both Goku and Vegeta are pretty much as broken as they get, and you can't just have a character show up that's just very, very strong. You gotta have something in there that gives them a gimmick that they have a one-up over both Goku and Vegeta. And that's what I liked about the Moro arc as well. With Granola, the only gimmick is he is the strongest person. But the thing is, it's like, when he wished to be the strongest warrior, it's like, he is, but Goku and Vegeta are infamous for breaking their barriers and getting stronger. And that's exactly what even happened in this chapter when Vegeta was like, you may be the strongest warrior, but I'm literally built to like get stronger and better over time. The person you were fighting 10 seconds ago is a lot more stronger now than he was 20 seconds ago, 30 seconds ago. And at some point, we're going to see both Goku and Vegeta get pushed to that next level where they achieve a new strength, whether it be the same forms that they have now, but just more tweaked, or maybe even like a newer form. I don't really know. We're going to keep seeing that to the point where Granola is going to be overpowered. You know, or like overpowered in regards to like Goku and Vegeta just body this man. That's why I don't think this is going to be the main villain. You know, and we even seen those goons that basically set everything up. They're planning something. They're getting the Dragon Balls as we speak to do basically, maybe they might do their own thing where they wish to be even stronger, like an immortal character or something like that. Then the main threat will show up. So like, until that happens, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I don't know exactly if I like this arc yet. So comment section below, let me know how you feel about this. Give me your pros and cons so far of what's been happening. I'm not invested. I'll tell you right now, I am not invested in this arc. And that says a lot considering that almost every single arc that came out in the manga so far since day one, I was like super into it. Even all the stuff that was basically redone that we knew was going to happen. You know, I liked the twist that they had in the Goku Black arc. I liked the twist that we saw in the Turn on Power. Like, I liked how it had something that was unique to it. And now I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I care. I don't know if I care yet. Now, one thing that did come out that I do think is cool is this Ultra Ego form. I think it's just dope. And I talked about this last month, but having Goku follow the path of the angel with the Ultra Instinct and Vegeta follow the path of the God Destruction with Ultra Ego, to me, is very, very dope. And it's something unique to both characters. Because, you know, when Ultra Instinct came out originally, I was just like, please don't let this be a thing that Vegeta gets as well. I want him to have his own thing. And then we got basically, well, in my opinion, I wasn't a big fan of it, we got Bluer Vegeta. They really give Goku this cool form, and then they just have Vegeta go bluer. I was not a fan of the evolution form. I mean, I didn't hate it, but like, it's like, really? That's what you give him? Like, you can't give him something cool? So not being in this position where we have this God Destruction ability that was brought out in this last chapter, and having Vegeta have his own thing, to me, is just very, very cool. It adds that uniqueness to the characters, and I think they should keep doing that, you know? I don't want to be that guy that sees Trunks go blue. I don't want to see Vegeta get UI. I don't want to see Gotenks achieve Super Saiyan 4, like stuff that's been happening in the past. I want everyone to have their own thing. And you know, speaking of Super Saiyan 4, I've talked about this as well in the past, but something I would love to see is, since Broly exists in the canon world of DBS, you know what I would not be opposed to is if they gave him Super Saiyan 4. Because, you know, what we saw in the DBS movie is he had like the whole like rage mode, this like, you know, back to the primal instinct Saiyan thing. And if that actually ends up being a thing that triggers him to go Super Saiyan 4 and gives him that as a unique thing, I am here for it. Super Saiyan 4 is one of my favorite transformations. I think it's just very, very cool. And I think out of any character that has ever existed in the Dragon Ball world, Broly should get that the most, because it will make a lot of sense. You know, he essentially was going into that form, you know, with how he was fighting with Goku and Vegeta in the beginning of the DBS movie. And then he went into the whole rage mode and stuff like that. But I want everyone to have their own unique thing, because that's what makes the characters more special, in my opinion. Comment section below, let me know what you guys think about that. I know there's going to be a lot of strong opinions, especially when we talk about bringing, essentially starting from GT into DBS and making the canon. And that's going to be a whole nother can of worms that'll be opened up in regards to like talking about future stuff as well. But let me know your thoughts. Again, I like doing conversations like this because like we get to have fun and just kind of really dig deep into this series, which is supposed to be very, very simple and fun. But it's always been fun to talk about. You know, something I've always done since I was like, you know, 7, since I was a kid, was always just watch an episode of DBZ or Dragon Ball or GT and then go to school the next day and discuss it with my friends, you know, the small circle of friends that I had that enjoyed the series, and just having like all these what if scenarios and stuff like that. And seeing that unfold today, to me, has been one of my most favorite things about the Dragon Ball modern world, because it's like when Dragon Ball ended and that's all we had, like we had nothing really to kind of gauge where everything was really at. But being in a situation right now where we have DBS back, or Dragon Ball back, which happens to be DBS, and seeing like where everything is at today, it's just very, very cool to me. So comment section below, let me know your overall thoughts about everything we discussed, and I'll try to do maybe one of these videos maybe like once a month, not necessarily as like a review of the chapter, but more like the things that stand out to me. Unless, of course, the chapter comes out and it's just kind of ass, and I'm just kind of like, all right, well, I guess I'll see you guys next month. But hey, if you guys like seeing these discussions and you want to see more of them, then just hit the thumbs up and then let me know your thoughts down below and everything. The last question I might end it with, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or not, is Ultra Ego. Is that a yay or nay for you? I know I said let me know your thoughts, but the final question I'm going to end with is did you like Ultra Ego as a name? Yes or no? And what would you have called it? I know a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, it should have just been called God Destruction. But again, that's Toppo's thing. You know, it's not God Destruction. You know, Toppo had his own transformation, and based on what we saw with Toppo and what Vegeta is right now, those are two completely different things, you know. They're not the same thing. So I wouldn't call this like God of Destruction Vegeta, even though that's what my video was titled last month, but that's just because we didn't know what was going. And for all we know, maybe that will be the final form. When Vegeta taps into Ultra Ego completely, maybe he will look like that, where he'll have the aura and he'll have like the God of Destruction insignia and stuff like that on his chest. Maybe that might be a thing. I don't know. We'll find out next month or the month after. But overall, though, I just want to kind of talk about all this stuff. Again, every time you see this, you know Vegeta's about to lose, but let's be real. We know he was going to lose just because it was way too early in the chapter for anything to happen. And for all you know, maybe next chapter he'll really like step it up and we'll see the form really come out, and then he beats Granola, I don't know. And then the actual bad guys pop out of the arc. So yeah. So anyways, I'm going to end right here. Let me know your thoughts down below on anything we discussed. And as long as you enjoy seeing videos like this, we'll do it on a monthly basis. But as always, thank you guys for watching. My name is Rhymestyle. I'll see you guys in the comment section below. Peace.